It's time for your MCR radio show. Sit back and get ready to party to the newest and hottest time hits on the planet. Now here's your host, Juan Mendoza.
All right. Welcome to the MCR radio show. I am your host, Juan Mendoza. On behalf of Lila Lisa Promotions and myself, we want to welcome you to another great interview. And on the line, we have a young lady from San Antonio, Texas. She's got a couple brand new singles out and a brand new music video out as well. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, we have Miss Krystal Diaz. How you doing, Krystal?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you so much for setting up this interview, and I'm excited to be on the show today.
So how's your weekend going so far?
It's going great. I'm spending my weekend dancing. Be la reina del baile if I didn't do some dancing this weekend. But I'm all done with that, and I'm ready to unwind and get ready for Super Bowl tomorrow. So
nice. Who are you going
for? I'm going for the 49ers.
49ers, that's right.
But it's just kind of my team by default. I'm a very big Cowboys fan, so one of these days we'll make it to the Super Bowl, God willing.
Again.
So I know. I'm like, it's got to happen. I love the Cowboys. I'm not losing faith yet. But the 49ers, I guess, would be my pick for tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be my pick for tomorrow. I grew up in California, so 49ers. I grew up watching the 49ers back then in the 80s and the Raiders, but since they're no longer in California, now they moved to Vegas. But, right. by the fall, I think I'll go that route to 49ers and stuff. But, I'll say this publicly, I'm not a big Cowboy fanatic. I'm more of the Texans, so I was kind of disappointed we got knocked out.
Oh, man. Well, the Texans, they have a really good team right now. I tell you that. They've got it together. The Cowboys need a little bit more help, so they just need to keep working hard, and one day, hopefully the Texans or the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with whatever new staff they bring in, hopefully it'll help them out.
For sure.
Yeah. So how's everything going? You have a dance studio.
I do. So I have a dance company here in San Antonio. I opened my studio when I was 16 years old. So I've been doing this for going on 12 years now. The name of the company is Diaz. So what a lot of people don't know about me is I started, in the music industry as a dancer. I started dancing when I was 2 and have performed my whole life, throughout the U.S. and Mexico. And then opened up a studio when I was in my teens. And then later on in life, I decided to kind of cross over and bridge the gap with singing. So music has always been a part of my life, and dancing will always be my first love. And now I'm excited to kind of merge singing and dancing together.
Nice. You helped Mia Garcia on her music video.
Yes. So she actually got to come in and use the studio to practice and get ready for her music video, and she had a choreographer come in, and they were able to utilize the space. And that's always one thing I like to let the artists know. I've talked to a couple other artists, and they're like, "You have a studio? I would love to use it to practice." So it's really cool to be able to offer that to other people that may need it to, prepare for a music video or to just practice with them. So I've had a couple artists, Tejano artists, reach out to me and say, "Hey, can I just use your space? I got the sound system in the room, so it's just, to be able to practice and have that space to be able to, really practice your talent." So
now, when it comes to dancing, what is your specialty? Is it more hip hop? Is it cumbias? Or
my specialty is more Spanish and Latin. So I grew up, doing like ballet folklorico, which is more traditional, and then later on throughout my life, I started dabbling more with like salsa, merengue, bachata. But I mean, I do it all. So I do hip hop and country and cumbia and all of that. So it really isn't one that in the Spanish genre that I don't know. I pretty much do it all and teach all of that at my studio. So it's pretty cool.
Now, did you ever get into any kind of dance competitions when you were younger?
Growing up, I did pageants. So the reason why I started doing pageants was because they had a talent competition in the pageant. So, growing up, I came from a middle-class family, and of course, I always wanted to go to college. And my parents said, if you want to go to college, you got to get the grades and get scholarships, because we're not going to be able to afford to send you, so figure it out. So back in the day, there were scholarship pageants that I would participate in. And of course, it was beauty and talent and, your interview skills and things like that. But I started doing them because I was able to use my dance talent to participate. So I won about 8 different titles, and then later on down the line, I won the San Antonio. But all of it really was because of the dancing and the fact that I was able to share my talent. So with that, I was able to pay for all of my college education, and it was able to open a lot of doors for me. And it's awesome. There are a lot of really great memories from my dancing, growing up. So it's pretty cool.
Now, college education, you're talking about like for business or for, did you
Yes. So I actually majored in business. I have a degree in business. So, and I really can thank my talent for being able to help get those scholarships to pay for it. So
nice. Now, how did you get into the actual singing part of it?
So I always really enjoyed singing growing up. I grew up with my family that I come from a family of musicians. I grew up, we have a ranch in Texas, which is actually where I filmed the music video for my newest song, Adios Hasta Nunca. So that video is really special to me because on the ranch, where I grew up on. So, growing up, I would listen to them sing, conjunto music and Tejano music and polkas and all that stuff. And I always had that passion and that love for it. Yeah. And I guess growing up, dance kind of took priority in my life. I was so focused on it. But over time, I kind of looked at it like I like to sing and I like to perform. And after doing dancing for so many years, I kind of was like at a standstill. Like, what else could I do now to kind of add to me as a performer? So, towards the end of 2017, I decided, you know what, I'm going to come out with a song and I'm going to give this a shot and just see how it goes. And if it goes great, then awesome. And if not, at least I could say I tried it. So that's when I ended up reaching out to Gilbert Velasquez, who produced my very first single, La Reina del Baile. And I really wanted to do La Reina del Baile because it kind of it was kind of like who I am, the queen of the dance. And that was, and that's kind of where that started. And we got in the studio and worked on it for a couple months, and I just crossed my fingers and hoped that people, liked it, and it ended up taking off and being a great hit. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah,
it was a great song. La Reina del Baile, of course, is a great one. Te Metiste, and of course, Adios Hasta Nunca. Now, I think 2 of those are on our countdown still, along with your music videos, and they've been doing very well.
Awesome. It's really awesome, and it's pretty surreal now to have 2 songs on the countdown, and they're both so different from each other. And my goal as an artist, is to really show people different sides of my music and just be very versatile. So I enjoy the cumbias and the party songs, and I also enjoy singing songs about love, and then I also enjoy singing songs about heartbreak. So with my music, you're going to get a little bit of everything, and I like to kind of keep people guessing, like what is she going to do next? So I always want to kind of keep people on the edge of their seat, like what's next. Yeah. So
now, when you did the video for Te Metiste, you did it pretty much around the San Antonio area, around the Riverwalk. Was it hard to do it? Knowing with all the bystanders walking around and everything else, was it hard to film it?
It was a little difficult, but we were able to find some really cool key locations that were kind of away from the traffic. So we kind of just had to maneuver our way around and kind of find some areas that were kind of away from the people. Mm-hmm. And we were actually able to find some places that I've lived here in San Antonio my whole life, and I've been on the Riverwalk many times, and I didn't even know those little places were there. Yeah. So we kind of just tried to maneuver our way, around the people and away from them to really try to get the best shots. Because that's kind of hard, because you have people kind of walking back and forth while you're trying to film, or they're looking at you and you're kind of nervous, like, what is she doing? So a lot of those key places that we had there in the video were kind of away from the people. So that helped.
Yeah. How long did it take you to actually film that video?
I want to say we actually knocked it out in maybe 2 or 3 hours. It was very fast. For the most part, we filmed everything there on the Riverwalk and just used a couple different locations. So that specific video didn't take me long at all. Yeah. I think Adios Hasta Nunca took a little longer because we were kind of filming in different locations and doing a little bit different things. So each video is different.
Yeah, each one of them is, both of them are a life of its own. The Adios Hasta Nunca was more, I guess you could call it regional Mexican style, norteño type.
It's a little more norteño. And that's a little scary because, San Antonio is Tejano capital of the world. I love Tejano music. Mm-hmm. But I also have a love for, like regional Mexican, norteño music. So I wanted to kind of come up with a fusion that had, the accordion that's more like Tejano, but also have like a norteño vibe, because I really want to cater to all audiences. I don't want to just limit my audience to just Tejano or just Norteño. So it's a little bit of a risk, though, because people love Tejano music. So, you know, I knew that it was a little bit of a risk kind of putting that song out there. And I just hope, you know, I hope people like it and will understand it. So it's definitely different.
So how's your fan reaction been to that song and the video?
It's been great. I felt like they really liked it. And it's a little bit of a different audience considering that it's like a sad song. And, you know, just if you really pay attention to the words, it's very powerful, and it kind of just talks about leaving someone and moving on. And it's kind of a message that I want to send to, you know, anybody that's kind of like in a relationship and, you know, they're mistreated or they're unhappy. You move forward. So I think you can never go wrong with a song, you know, for women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women are like, I heard that song and it motivated me, or I felt, you know, the words because I've been through it before. So I was really excited about putting that song out because it was a little bit more personal that I think people could relate to. So far the response has been great.
Yeah, I think women can relate to all these songs that you put out. You know, with La Reina del Baile, you know, it's good because they're dancing. Women love to dance. You know, and then of course Hasta Nunca, you know, women go through heartbreak quite a bit, you know, so they can relate to all these.
Yeah, so then Te Metiste, you know, I fell in love with that song because, you know, it talks about love and meeting someone, and whether you're feeling it now or you felt it before or you hope to find that love in the future. I just thought I loved the fact that it was so pure and so, you know, just a beautiful song about love. So all three of them are so different.
Yeah. Are these originals? Did you write these yourself?
Well, La Reina del Baile was actually a cover from La de León.
Oh, okay.
Who was an artist from the 90s. She's the one that sings Suavecito, Dos Mujeres en Camino. So she was a legend, you know, and that specific song, we heard it and I was like, wow, I love that song. And my mom actually found it and she said, you know, this would be an awesome song for you to come out with. And when we took it to Gilbert Velasquez, he just completely transformed it and made it my own. So much that people thought it was mine. You know, they're like, that's a great song. And I'm like, I don't want to take the credit for it because it's not mine. But, you know, I made it my own. The same with Te Metiste. The Te Metiste was a cover from a regional Mexican singer that he's no longer with us. He actually passed away in a car accident like a month before he released Te Metiste. Oh. So after he released his song, it just blew up, you know. So it was a really beautiful song, but the style was more like regional Mexican. So David Garza produced this song, and we wanted it to be more like cumbia romántica, so a little bit of like a ballad, but kind of have that romantic cumbia vibe to it. And Adios Hasta Nunca is my first original song. So it's really special to me because it's my first song that's mine. And my producer, David Garza, helped me, you know, get in the studio and write it. And so this is my first original song, which is pretty special. Nice.
So what's next for you? You got these 3 singles out. Are you working towards an album or EP?
Yes. Yeah. So my goal is for Tejano Fanfare to have an EP with, you know, at least 6 of my songs. A lot of more cover songs added to the 3 that I already know. But my goal for 2020 is to kind of just spend more time in the studio writing my own music and working on this album. And my goal is by 2021 to have my album released and promoting the album.
Nice.
Just a lot more time in the studio and focusing on what I want to do next and what other songs I want to put on my album.
What are the areas of Tejano or Norteño or, you know, cumbia? What other areas are you going to touch for this album?
I definitely want to put a lot more, you know, a lot more cumbia. I love cumbia. I love to dance, and I've loved my past 2 singles, but I really kind of miss, you know, that La Reina del Baile vibe, you know, with the party and the dancing. And when I perform on stage, I like to incorporate, you know, the performing, the dancing, and getting, you know, interacting with the crowd. So I definitely want to put a couple more party tracks on my album that are really going to get people moving and having fun, and that you can play at the parties and the quinces and all that. So definitely want to focus a little bit more on that for the rest of the album.
So what exactly do you do in the dance studio? Are people actually asking you to help them out with music videos?
Yes. I've actually had several artists reach out to me to help with choreography. So I specialize in all types of dancing. I teach, you know, young kids, and I also teach adults. I teach a lot of classes for couples. You know, I've even worked with people that are about to get married and they want to kind of learn how to do it all the day of their wedding. And I've assisted in music videos and quinceañeras before. So I kind of do it all here. It really just depends on what people are looking for. But I've had people reach out to me to kind of assist them with with music videos and things like that. So I think there's a couple pending for 2020, and it's pretty neat because being able to share my, different talents, or even help people bring their music to life with a cool video and choreography, it's awesome because it has my name behind it and my talent.
So you actually
do to help.
So you actually do the choreography for a lot of things?
Yes. I've done like choreography for weddings, like people that do like those surprise dances, and the quinceañeras, where they do like that mix of all those different songs, and then my dancers, they perform all throughout the city of San Antonio and Fiesta and all that. So it's a lot of work, but I love seeing it all come alive on stage. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. Now, I thought when I first heard La Reina de Cumbia, I thought that was a title that was given to you or something that you had put on in there for yourself. Have you taken that title for yourself?
That's kind of like after I released that song, that was kind of like that name that I started putting out there to promote myself. It was like Krystal Diaz, la reina del baile. So I liked that was my first song because I could capitalize on that name, and now I just kind of stuck with it. And people kind of started putting it out there like, oh, la reina del baile, So that's kind of like my stage name, or part of my presentation, I guess, as an artist. So it's just kind of stuck, and it works, and it's a reflection of me as a performer. So it worked out.
Nice. Are you going to be in San Antonio? Well, of course you're going to be in San Antonio, but are you going to be performing on the stage during like the fanfare?
Yes. I actually just confirmed my time for Tejano Fanfare, and I'm going to be performing opening day that Thursday, and I'll be out there with my band, which I'm super excited about. It's my first debut with my band. So we've been working hard and rehearsing and getting ready for Fanfare. So I'll be there opening day at 3:30 on Thursday. I still need to confirm the stage, but I'll be performing on opening day of Fanfare. And of course, I'll be there the rest of the time signing autographs and also just checking out all the amazing talent and networking and seeing everyone. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. So aside of that, what's next for you? What do you expect to accomplish this year in 2020?
So my goal now, of course, with the band is to definitely be performing at some different venues and spend more time on stage and, really just kind of sharing my music and hopefully, getting more fans and getting more people kind of accustomed to Krystal Diaz music. And, of course, just the album, spending a lot of time. It's also just a lot of quiet time so I can focus on writing and just original music that, kind of comes from me in my life. So writing music, recording my songs, and performing on stage. Those are my 3 goals for 2020.
Nice. I know a lot of people like to collaborate and stuff like that on music, and a lot of people are doing it now. You see it all over Facebook. Do you want to collaborate? Would you like to collaborate with anybody? And if so, who?
I have a lot of respect for, the women in the industry right now. I think women are, in Tejano music are really dominating. I saw that, at the Tejano Music Awards, and, I continue to see it daily. But, I grew up listening to Eli La Reina, Shelly Lares, Stephanie Montiel, Stephanie Lynn. So being able to collaborate with somebody that I look up to, in the future would be absolutely amazing. So any of these female artists that have been in the game for like 20, 25 years, it would just be awesome because, I look up to them and I have so much respect for them. So I think to have the opportunity to collaborate with one of those ladies would be pretty amazing, and I feel like, man, that would make my life to be able to collaborate with someone that I grew up listening to and have so much respect for.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing.
And what about some of your fellow peers, that are up and coming artists, like yourself?
Yes, I love Savannah Boschen. I also really love Magali de la Rosa. I think she's doing amazing things, and I love her stage presence and her passion for being an artist, and same with Lydia and Aisha. I mean, they're all doing so great, and at the end of the day, being a woman in this industry is not an easy thing. So I have so much respect for these women that are out here working hard, getting in the studio, just trying to promote themselves, and it's really all about being a family and supporting one another and sticking together and really building up the industry and not having any tension. I have so much respect for everybody that's doing this because it's not easy. So I really want everybody to succeed, and I think everybody's doing awesome. So it's great to see that.
You're saying it's not an easy thing, of course, for a woman, and I've seen a lot of during like for Facebook and of course social media and everything like that. what is it the hardest part for a female to make it in this business?
I think one thing is just, the comparison. I think, coming up from the Selena era, it's even now a lot of female artists are still kind of being compared to Selena, or they're being compared to one another. And I think people kind of want to create that friction, and they want to create that tension of, who's better, who's this and who's that. Mm-hmm. And I think social media is amazing to promote yourself, and it's a great tool, but I also think that it could be the devil too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it can.
If you pay attention to my social media, I'm always very uplifting. I'm always very positive. I really just promote my work, and you don't really see a lot of my personal life online. Mm-hmm. But I really want to be real and relatable, but I also still want to have respect for people and other people in the industry, and just anybody who comes on my page. I really want to send positive vibes and positivity, because I never want anybody to feel like I'm talking about anyone or talking down to anyone or act like I'm better than anyone. I think we're all equal, mm-hmm. and we should all uplift one another. Mm-hmm. And I think we should use social media as a way to promote ourselves and promote one another and support each other. That's one thing that I think it kind of gets in the way of other people's success is, maybe kind of using Facebook as a tool to vent, or maybe talk bad about someone. But I think if we just keep it positive, and I always tell people, write it in a notebook and save it, but once you share it, it's out there for everybody to see. And,
see a lot of people.
It's a dangerous thing.
Yeah. You see a lot of people using it and it's like a novella. It's like Facebook has its own. Yes. Drama and stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but it's just
I think as an artist, you're kind of like under a magnifying glass, so people are going to look on your page and they're going to be curious about what you're doing. And even you guys, you're in the public eye because people, they know Machine Gun Radio and they know the face behind it, and people are going to tend to gravitate to you or to artists a little bit more than the average person. So because of that, you have to be even more careful because people are watching. Yeah. And you have fans and you have followers, and you want people to always respect you, and you want to be a good example. Yeah. And I also work with children. So, I have their parents on Facebook, and some of them are teens and young adults, and they follow me. So I always just want to have a really good image. It's very important to me, and just to be a good role model. And so that way it doesn't matter who's looking at my page or who's following me. They're never going to see anything that they're like, what is she doing? Or what is she saying? It's always positive. Yeah. So that's one thing that's very important to me.
Yeah. That's why we try to abbreviate the station as much as we can, because we know we have the underage kids out there listening, because some of you guys and the music that they like, a lot of the cumbias, a lot of stuff like that they want to dance to. So that's the reason why we had to abbreviate it. But yeah, it's very important to keep your personal life off of social media. Mm-hmm. And I keep mine too off of, everything that happens here, except for, when I post about Lila and stuff like that, our love for each other. That's the only thing that goes out there pretty much in our personal life, unless we're having coffee or something like that.
Too, I'm in a relationship, and I share, I have a life partner that I share my life with, and I'll post things here and there because, we're human, and we love our significant others, or we thank them for their support. Are they going to know when we're fighting and when we don't like each other? No. But every once in a while, I think it's important to share your relationship and share the person that's supporting you, because without that support, you wouldn't really be where you are today. Yeah. And you never want them to feel like it's all about you, because really it takes a team to be able to do what you guys do, or me as an artist to have that support at home. So, I think as long as you keep fun and positive and uplifting, you never know, like when you're making someone's day, or if they're seeing something and they're like, man, I needed to hear that today, versus I didn't really need to read that drama today, but thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like all the drama too much. I mean, I like some of the controversy and stuff like that, but like some of the stuff that needs to come out and get said, about the industry and stuff, those are the things that need to get fixed. That's the reason why I post some of the things that I actually do. But it's, they need to get said and they need to get heard, so that way we can try to straighten ourselves out and get out that pigeonhole of, the Maz and Selena from back then, and just look into a new era already. But, it's good to a point to where we need to promote ourselves, and you as artists, us as radio stations, we need to help each other out.
And it's factual. It's things that that need to be done in order for artists to succeed, in order for people to pave the way for the new generation and new artists and all of that. So I'm all for advocating and really just giving everybody a fair chance to share their talent.
There you go.
Give the platform, the platform to be able to share their talent.
There you go. All right. So now, if anybody wants to get you for an event, where can they get a hold of you at?
They are more than welcome to shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm at my capacity on my personal Facebook page, but I also have a fan page that's under Krystal Diaz, and I share everything on there. You know, there's really nothing that anybody's missing out on. So they're more than welcome to send me a message and, you know, with all the information and reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Snapchat, so I have all social media. And everything is Krystal Diaz with a K.
Nice.
So everyone is more than welcome to follow me and follow my journey and reach out to me for anything in the future.
Nice. And if anybody wants to like take their kids to go take dance classes, where can they get a hold of you for that? The same thing?
With the business, Danza Vida also has a Facebook page. It's Danza Vida de San Antonio Dance Company. You'll see it all over my Facebook page. And for anybody wanting lessons, we register all year long. We're actually getting ready for a big production at the Josephine Theater here in San Antonio on February the 29th. So we're going to have a whole bunch of different arrays of dancing from flamenco to bachata, salsa. So anybody who comes and enrolls with me, it's really an amazing opportunity for their kids, or even if you're an adult, to really get out there and learn different dances and also the opportunity to perform and be on stage. So it's pretty awesome. And yeah, if anybody's listening and they want to enroll their kid and they live in San Antonio, we enroll all year long. So feel free to reach out to me and I can send all the information.
There you go. All right. Any shout outs that you want to give out real quick?
Oh, I want to thank you guys. First and foremost, thank Machine Radio. You guys, I love all of the internet radio stations that promote my music, but I'm just so thankful for you guys, being on your countdown week after week since, for as long as I can remember, and having that support from you guys is so awesome. And I want to give a shout out to everyone in San Antonio who's listening, because that's where I'm from, but also just give a shout out to all the fans and followers and listeners that are tuning in today and listening to my interview. I thank you guys so much for your time and for your support.
You're welcome. So let you know that this will be as a podcast, of course. It'll be on 25 so far streaming platforms that we have, including Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, all that stuff like that. So it'll be on there. Our fellow radio stations will be playing it, so the show is syndicated and all our podcasts are syndicated. So maybe you guys can check it out at any time you guys want to, along with all the rest of our interviews. But I want to thank you so much for giving us your music, for sending us your music, sending it to Lila, and of course having it for our countdowns as well. And congratulations on everything so far.
Thank you guys again so much for everything, and it's been an honor being on your countdown, and hopefully we'll stay on there even longer, and of course look out for new Krystal Diaz music coming in 2020 and a new album, hopefully, fingers crossed, by 2021.
There you go. I guess it's your mom, the one that's always reposting all about to vote for you, so just tell her to keep doing that and keep supporting.
I've got really good support system. My mom, spends a lot of time helping me promote my music, and that's what it's all about. It's really having that support system and having, your family and your friends and people in your life that believe in you and encourage you. It's not always easy to do it on your own. Yeah. So I'm very thankful to my mom and my family who support me in all that I do.
There you go. Well, we want to thank you so much for taking your time out this weekend to be on our show, of course, and a little later on it'll be on all the streaming platforms so you guys can share it. But thank you so much for everything. Anything you need, we're always here. Get with Lila and she'll be happy to have you on our show again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Juan. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Krystal Diaz from San Antonio, Texas. And of course, we're going to go ahead and play two of her singles. One is Te Metiste. And then after that, we're going to get into the brand new one called Adios Hasta Nunca. Make sure you guys check out her music video on YouTube. Make sure you guys vote for them on our top 10 music video countdown. And of course, our top 20 countdown. And check it out every Sunday on all these streaming platforms as well. Thank you, Krystal, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Todas las veces que me has hecho tan feliz, tú te entregas totalmente, me recuerdas que eres solo tristeza, porque me pone a sufrir. Te metiste completamente en mi vida. No hay un momento que no esté pensando en ti. Y te metiste como el agua entre mis manos para quedarte siempre, siempre junto a mí. Y te metiste así como que no queriendo. Me enamoraste, me ilusionaste y hoy soy solo para ti. ¿Cómo te digo? ¿Cómo te explico? Que necesito estarte haciendo sonreír. No quiero ver tu carita destrozada por el llanto y la tristeza, porque me pone a sufrir. Te metiste completamente en mi vida. No hay un momento que no esté pensando en ti. Y te metiste como el agua entre mis manos para quedarte siempre, siempre junto a mí. Y te metiste así como que no queriendo. Me enamoraste, me ilusionaste y hoy soy solo para ti.
This radio station plays more music like this.
Hoy he decidido de no verte. Ya no quiero entretenerme con tus lazos y tus juegos. Yo te abrí las puertas de mi vida
Promotions is your number one source for getting your music heard on the air. For the last 7 years, Lila has been distributing artist music to over 50 affiliates across the United States and Mexico. So if any artist wants their music heard on AM, FM, or internet radio, send your MP3 files, bios, and photos to Lila Lisa at lilalisa@gmail.com. That's lilalisa@gmail.com. Lila Lisa Promotions, your number one source for getting your music heard on the air.
Thanks, Mo.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves, and I hope we pass the audition.